Oh, hello, my love. Come here. Oh, I've so missed you today. Mm. No matter how many times we touch, it always feels like the first time. I always feel as though my heart could start beating again. It would well. Thank you. I'm sorry you couldn't come with me to visit Lord Reginald. I do still have many dear ones. I do still have many dear ones after all, and I have to make sure that they get attention too. It wasn't anything terribly important, just a social visit, really. I hadn't spoken with Lord Reginald in a long time, and I thought we were due for a good catching up. And honestly, I don't know that you would really like him. Despite being a much younger vampire than I, he's old fashioned. I mean, he doesn't respect mortals much. In fact, he often calls them cattle. Isn't that terrible? I mean, I admit that becoming a vampire changes your view of mortals. It does, but that's just part of being what we are. I know that some mortals would think that my habit of dressing up my dear ones and setting them around the manor as decorations is a little demeaning. But I take such pleasure in it. I appreciate it so much. He, on the other hand, is on a whole other level. He obeys Eventide's laws about mortal rights, but it's clear he only does so he can keep living here. Well, even for vampires who don't care much for mortals, Eventide is a spectacular place to live for a vampire. Evidently, he feels that treating mortals with more care than he'd like is worth the protection. Anyway, I really don't want to talk about him anymore. I just wanted to maintain a friendly relationship with him, but I don't know. Perhaps it was a mistake. A big mistake. I'm fine, love, I'm fine. Oh, I'm lying. He was awful. He said dreadful things to me about our relationship. I thought he might, and I didn't want you to see me upset or to hear the things that he had said. It's been a long time since I felt so vulnerable. Oh, I don't even want you to know half of what he said. I'm sure you can imagine all the nasty things he would say. When he said that falling in love with you was like lying with a dog, that's when I left. I almost could have cried. And I've not cried in well over a century. Oh, perhaps two. I'm sorry, I feel so silly and weak for some reason. I'm supposed to be strong for you. You and all my dear ones. I protect you from all the horrors of the world. And how can I do that if I'm reduced to almost tears by a few unkind words? Poor Lillian, she's the dear one I brought with me. She looks so shocked. She could see my pain, something she's never seen before, and I'm sure she felt it too. I think it's because perhaps I've realized what hurts me so much is the fear that I can't protect you. I just keep thinking about what would have happened if you had been there with me. How would it have made you feel? And I worry that I'm exposing you to danger again. It happened before with the Elf King, and I did that. I set you right in front of a dangerous person, just assuming that nothing would dare happen. I don't want you to think that your life is in any danger from other vampires. Of course not. But perhaps in rushing to announce our relationship, I may have made you a target just for harsh words and for criticism. Up to this point, you haven't really been outside the manor much, but the party I took you to just a few weeks ago was supposed to be the start of many more. You deserve to explore and meet new people, but now, how can I knowingly take you outside when at any time vampires could hurt you with actual name-calling and insults? It's so disheartening to realize all of this after it's too late to do anything really about it. I'm supposed to be wise. I am an ancient being. Most of the time, I'm many steps ahead of everyone, but when it comes to you, my thinking, I seem to rush. I just want everyone to see you, to know how important you are to me, to celebrate us. Thank you, my love. You're very sweet to say that it's all with good intentions, but sometimes they just aren't enough. I've been involved in the darker side of politics for centuries, and I've seen countless rulers who wanted only the best from their people but couldn't perform their own duties properly. Oh, and the last thing I want to do is become like them. You're right. Thank you, Darwin. I hadn't thought of it that way. I apologize, my love. I've grown so used to providing for my dear ones, I didn't consider that you're quite capable of making your own decisions as well. You are right. You did agree to this. I didn't force you. That definitely gives me something more to think about. I care about you so deeply. Perhaps I should be a bit more trusting in you as well. But I ask that you try to understand that no matter what, I truly believe that it is my duty to protect you. You're a mortal, considered weak and inexperienced. It just is. I want to be strong for you, because in a place like this, you need someone to be strong to watch over you. I will absolutely trust your decisions when I can, but please indulge me and allow me to guide you when needed, okay? Thank you. It's been harder for me to adjust than I thought. But I also know that this is what I've been missing in my life. Someone that I can rely on. Because they want me to. I haven't had someone I could consider a partner in a long, long time. In fact, it's probably because the last time I did, it didn't end well. No, it was another vampire. We began as business partners, but she and I started to become more. It went on for several decades, but we both have strong personalities, if you will. We were both very accustomed to being in charge, and while we did our best to work together, one day all of our disagreements boiled to the surface. She ended up leaving Eventide, only so she could live apart from me. We've actually returned to a friendly relationship, but that only happened after 50 years of complete bitterness. But even we've agreed that we're better as friends. With that, you have something that she didn't. You're sweet and you're gentle. When I'm with you, I feel calm, not inflamed. You don't try to force your way of thinking on me. And I don't mean that you're weak or timid. Far from it. You're honestly the strongest mortal I think I've ever met. But you simply exude this thoughtfulness, consideration. I can trust that you have only my best interests at heart. And while you offer your thoughtfulness, you still respect my experience. You don't assume that you know better. You allow me a different perspective without forcing it on me. Thank you for that. And thank you for being here for me. I love you so very much, and I want you to understand how much I mean when I say I absolutely cherish you. That day I first saw you, bedraggled in that cell, malnourished, I knew immediately that I wanted to protect you. At the time, all I could think about was how badly you needed me. I never could have imagined back then how much I would come to need you. I suppose that's a weakness of mine. I've not explored my weaknesses in a long time. I haven't had to. I tend to assume that mortals simply don't know as much as me. But even though I'm centuries old, there are still things that I haven't experienced. I suppose with that, it doesn't necessarily matter how much more than you I know. Knowing one truly important thing is far more valuable than 100 little irrelevant facts. In your case, you know how to accept things that are out of your control. You truly came to accept your place here in the mansion rather quickly. I've had dear ones who were inconsolable for months. You settled in right around a week. And I know even now you're still a bit shy, but I actually like that. I do. It's part of your charm. I think I'll need to borrow some of that ability when I can. I'll need you to be able to help me be at peace with the way things are. And of course, in exchange, I want you to remember to rely on me too. It would be really silly of you to start carrying the world on your shoulders when your lover is an ancient, powerful vampire after all. You know that you can rely on me to handle things for you, at least most of the time. I'll always protect you from threats and always keep you fed and clothed and comfortable. None of that is going to change. I'm always here for you. And I guess I really need to make sure that you understand that before I can ask for you to say some nice, encouraging words to me from time to time. I don't think I'm going to suffer another breakdown like today, but let's just say you have a way of making a very bad day much better. Oh, yes, I still expect my regular feedings. Actually, come to think of it, it is your turn today, isn't it? Oh, would you mind if we did it a little bit earlier than normal? Oh, wonderful. There's nothing I would love more. Come here, my love. Mm. Mm. Oh, this beautiful neck. Mm. 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 Mm.